Hello and welcome to the 15-minute Gamer Gamer Awards of 2016. Anyway, let's roll the intro. And the categories for the 15-minute Gamer Gamer Awards 2016 are some special mentions, games that didn't quite make it, the Twitter Choice Award, Worst Game, the most disappointing, most hype lied to, biggest fail of 2016, the most time spent on a game, and finally my top 5 games of the year. First up is the special mentions category. These are games that I did enjoy but didn't quite make the cut. First up is Tom Clancy's The Division. Now I know what you're going to say. I really enjoyed this game, but only because I was playing with someone. Single player, it's not particularly good. With a friend, in co-op, it's a brilliant game. The level of detail is incredible in it. There's so much to see and do. I like the setting, I like the feel, I like the guns. I liked it. Homeworld Deserts of Karak. This was a game that came out at the beginning of the year. It's a real-time strategy on the PC, and it's just a really good game. It brings you back to the 90s, the classic RTSs, and you'll get a lot of nostalgia playing this. It's a lot of fun. You run one big base unit with lots of units coming off it, and yeah, just go check it out if you've got a PC. Formula 1 2016. This was the game that Formula 1 fans have been looking forward to, and it didn't fail on delivering. It's a really good game. Graphically, it's very good. Sounds very good. Plays very well. The driving's really good. And the only problem is you have to invest a lot of time into it, and I just don't have that time. If you're a racing fan and haven't played it yet, pick it up. You'll enjoy it. The Twitter Choice Award. For this one, I opened up to the world of Twitter. I put some polls up. So let's see what was nominated. Poll number 1 was Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2, Dishonored 2, and Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15 won. Poll number 2 was Dark Souls 3, Overwatch, Doom, Uncharted 4. Overwatch and Uncharted 4 went forward. The Last Guardian, Forza 3, Deus Ex, and Firewatch were in the final poll, and The Last Guardian went through. And the winner, with 35% of the vote, was Overwatch. So well done, Overwatch. It's not a game I've played, I'm going to admit that. It's not my sort of thing. However, it's a team-based first-person shooter. It gets really good reviews wherever you read them. Everyone rates it really highly. And that's why I done a Twitter Choice Award, because I want to put some games in there I hadn't played and seen what came out on top. And Overwatch did it. So, yeah, well done to them. And the worst game of 2016 award goes to Klepto. This is a game I can guarantee none of you watching this have heard of. It was quite a popular video on my channel. I think I have about 500 views or something like that. And when I read the description for this, I was just like, this sounds interesting. Basically, there's no place like a burglarized home, apparently. In this burglary simulation, you will explore, terrorize, and loot your way to success in a variety of open-world sandbox neighborhoods. It came out in June, and there has been some fixes, but I just refuse to put it back on. Basically, the whole point was, it just sounded like something a lot of fun, where you could burgle homes, you could crack safes, you could do this and do that, and lockpick, and, you know, it was done on Unreal Engine, so I was expecting some decent graphics. However, this game was just so early access. Like you can see by the video I'm showing now, the car just continues to drive in the wall. The AI is terrible. The graphics were terrible. Everything was just, this game was just terrible. You had to drive a van around and put your stuff in the van, and you'd see the cop car just disappeared. You had to drive around in the van, you'd put your goods in the van, so you'd like put your computers, hi-fi, whatever you'd store in the van, and then take it to a shop to sell. However, I put it in the van, and it was hanging out the back of it, like kept falling out and back in, your hands don't touch the steering wheel, as you can see, and apparently it's made for VR support. With them graphics, that would make you sick. The frame rate's so slow. It's not optimized. It's not anything. This game is just absolutely rubbish. It was the worst game I played this year. It's not often I pick up a game and go, because I'm a bit more careful with money these days. I know you get Steam refunds and stuff, but I was just like, this game, I thought would just be like amazing, a lot of fun. It's just not. Don't ever pick it up. It's easily the worst game I played this year, and I think it'll probably win anyone's if they've touched it. It's only got about 100 odd reviews on Steam, which is actually quite low for a game like this. But yeah, so that's Klepto, and it's on the PC. And the award for the most disappointing, most hype, lied to, biggest fail of 2016 goes to No Man's Sky. You can tell I was being a little bit pedantic with calling it the award, and I'm sure that you knew exactly what I was going to say once I called the award that. This game, man, words fail me with this game, and it doesn't matter how much I read, how much I listen to, how much I discuss this game. Everyone varies on it. Like, some people go, well, you know, it was more hype of the media, it wasn't hype of the developers. You know, they didn't lie technically about anything, they just kind of didn't correct anyone about it. This and that. And for me, what it was just the sheer lack of content in the game. And what I mean by that is they give you 18 trillion billion gajillion planets or whatever it was. However, they were all very similar. And to be fair, for me, in a normal playthrough, I'd probably, with the way resources worked, as in you had to use 25% of your fuel or whatever it was just to take off, and now it would take you half an hour to find more fuel to then put in your spaceship to take off again, and with the lack of infantry space and blah blah blah, they got so much wrong on this game, is they could have given me 50 planets absolutely full of content, and I would have enjoyed this game, I think. However, with the amount of planets there was just no need for it, and they've finally, after 3 or 4 months, bought an update out for it, and that update looks like a lot of fun, and it almost had me going to buy this again for the PC so I could play it. Almost. Not quite, but almost. If they keep working on updates like that, I may come back. It was lacking things like a basic creative mode. There was no base building. It turned out that you couldn't meet other players when they said, yes, very unlikely, but you might be able to. Things like the Guardians were bloody annoying on planets, how if you start hitting things, they'll come and get you. NPCs, they're just like things that hang around in buildings and don't move. The animals, because they're randomly generated, some look great, some look terrible. And overall, I picked up this game and thought, right, I am going to spend the next month or something playing this game, trying to get the center. And after 8 hours, I spent hours and hours and hours getting all the resources to do a hyper-jumped, and realised I'd have to do the whole thing again on planets that looked the exact same. There wasn't enough interesting points of interest. That just doesn't kind of work, but you know what I mean. There wasn't enough interesting things on each planet. There wasn't enough diversity. Space combat wasn't that good. Mining outside, you just kept getting done by raiders constantly. And then when I read that once you finish the game, you just go back to the beginning again, I was just like, whatever, this is not happening. It just wasn't fun for me. And I think I'm hoping that other game developers have looked at this and went, okay, we can make a lot of money by doing something like this, but the fans aren't going to like it, and there's going to be some issues. So, yes, for me, it was just one of them games of the year. It's not worst. It couldn't get my worst game category, because it's not the worst game. It's actually alright. It's just that it's under what's the word I'm looking for? Under-delivered on so many levels. So yes, No Man's Sky wins that award. Most time spent on a game 2016 award goes to 7 Days to Die. This would have won my Game of the Year award if it hadn't came out in 2014. It's still in early access. Once it comes out, it'll win my Game of the Year award. I've put this in here. I have had Steam for about 6 or 7 years. First couple of years just for Football Manager, and then just increased. The game I've played the most ever on Steam is this game. 77 hours is current point. I only started playing this game 3 months ago. I absolutely adore it. I think this is just an absolute pinnacle of survival, crafting, and horror game. It's done right. The guys who make it, Fun Pimps, put a lot of effort into it. They're constantly putting fixes in, updates. There's a massive community surrounding it. It's fun to craft in. It's fun to kill zombies. Every 7 days, hence the name, a horde comes, and you have to build bases and better bases to defend against them. The horde gets bigger and better. Well, not bigger, because you can only have so many zombies on screen at once, but they get harder and different types of zombies will show up. And it's just that knowing you have 7 days each time to get prepped and defended. And on that horde night, oh my god, do you start panicking. You're like, running around bases, getting your things up, getting sorted, getting your guns ready. And nothing's really out of reach. There's loads of loot on it. You can craft more stuff. Resources aren't that hard to get. Yes, you might have to spend the night digging, but at least you've got something to do at night. There's a lot of these survival games where you just sit around bored at night going, what do I do? This, you're down digging, you're getting stone, you're getting whatever. Each biome, there's different biomes and they have different things in them. So if you want coal, nitrates, etc. You then have things like heat maps, where the bigger base you build and the more stuff you put in it, the more zombies will be attracted to you. See, when you start off, you probably won't get too many zombies bugging you. The more bigger base you build and the more forges you build and the more gore blocks are called when you kill a zombie, the more the zombies will be attracted to you. Yes, it's full of absolute glitches. This game has got so many funny glitches. Like, a dog will be attacking you and it'll just start spinning around in circles and it's just brilliant. But because the game is good, you don't mind. You get one of these little mini bikes, which you can see where that zombie just died, where you can go around the map. On the map is huge. There's random gen and there's a specialized map that's already made as well. There's things to find like hidden bases, military bases, traders, so you can go and sell goods to them. The zombies are just, you can change everything on the game, from how difficult the zombies are, to how much damage they do to blocks, to how much of this, how long's daytime, how long's nighttime, how long's the cycle, how many hours a day. It's just, the amount of customization in this game is just absolutely fantastic, and it's the single best survival game I've ever played. I know Minecraft would probably be up there, but I've spent more hours on this than I ever have in Minecraft. And it's one of them games, because you're planning your bases and that you'll be like finishing it and you'll come off it and still be like, oh, well, if I dig that and dig that, that's going to take so many hours. The zombies aren't your main enemy on this game. It's time. There's always that time element. You're always aiming to get back into your base for a certain time and get it built up. And it is just the single greatest game I've played in a long time. 77 hours in 3 months. I love it. It's out on PS4 as well. I have bought it for PS4. Haven't tried it yet. I'm going to try it this weekend at some point, and I'm sure there'll be a video going up. But that's 7 Days to Die. And now it's time for the main event, my top 5 games of 2016. Number 5. Police Tactics Imperio. Again, you know me. Most of you probably haven't heard of this game. This was one of my most popular play series on the channel this season. It had a lot of views, and it is such a good game. Basically, what it is a strategy simulation management game for the PC, where you run a police department, in a American, or you can select a German. I went for American on mine. A German city, and it's up to you to basically respond to crimes, fight organized crimes. You have to coordinate all your units. You can unlock upgrades, enhancements, and new precincts. You can get things like helicopters, different riot cars. It's got day and night cycles. It's got everything. It's got missions. It's got a story to go to. You've got to look after what units you're gonna bring in. So how many officers do you want per car? Do you want loads of cars with a couple of units in each? Do you just want one car with 7 units in? Do you want to do foot patrols? Do you want to set up roadblocks? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And it's completely up to you. You have to set zones where you're going to send your units. Most of the time is spent in this view, like an overhead view sort of thing, as you can see now. When the area is green, it means that it's getting looked after, and you'll put patrol routes around, so your units will patrol a certain area. you've got to send like your, I don't know what they call it, like forensic team. And what they'll do is look at, if you haven't solved a crime, they will go there and look at the evidence and interview people and set up arrest warrants and stuff. And if there's been a murder, they go to it, etc. You can put them on patrol normally when you go. You've got to hire in officers, and you can train them to be police officers, riot police. You can train them in being forensics. You can train them in being this and that. There's about 6 different ways you can train them on each of them. And it's just up to you to respond. And it's just one of them games where you just like, you keep going, and because there's missions and there's a campaign and there's a lot of thought put into it, it's got a lot of longevity as well. It is a really good game. It didn't go higher in my top 5, and I was debating if even to put it in my top 5. But because of the amount of people that watched it, obviously people must have enjoyed it, so I think, yeah, that's a good thing. I would love to see maybe not just police, maybe fire and ambulance as well. Get everything combined onto one, and you'd have such a great game. The things that kind of let it down for me, the AI and the graphics weren't great. You would like start a chase against a stolen car, and you would send your units to go and investigate, but as soon as the car made off, the units wouldn't follow it. And it was little things like that that just ruined it, and I just felt that it needed a little bit more. It's so close to being a brilliant game. However, it's on PC. It's not that expensive if you own a PC. If you like your police simulators, if you like your management games, just pick it up. It's absolutely brilliant. Number 4. A very late addition to the top 5. Planet Coaster. Man, this game, wow. The level of detail and stuff you can do in this game to create your perfect theme park is incredible. You can customize every ride to how you like it. You can change track colors, you can add buildings. That castle thing there that's just went by, I built that myself out of pieces. I chose where I wanted the towers. I made the towers. You only got quarter blocks. I made all the towers. I made the moat around it. I made the top of it. I made the towers. I made the flags. I made the inside of it. These are pre-done assets here, which you can see on screen now. I can then go on them and customize the hell out of it. If I want them to have different chimneys, different windows, different signs, I can just do whatever. You put the shop down, you can just have a basic store, which is it's just a box. And you can click on the box and put on anything you want. If you want to make it medieval, make it medieval. If you want to make it fairy tale, futuristic, you do that. The tools are all there. There is a lot of buildings already made for you, like grand entrances, there's little shops, there's rides, there's a lot that is pre-made. However, the fun is just making your own park. I've spent so many hours on this just making that castle, and you know, when I finished it, it's not even finished yet, I was just like sat back, I was just like, wow, it's just amazing. The lighting effects at nighttime are incredible. Like, you can choose what colour lights you want, where you want the lights, and the way they shine and reflect, and the way it shows them off. It's just, it's just, the level of detail is insane. The way the AI on the guests work as well, if they've got something interesting to see, they'll actually turn their heads and look at it as they walk past. And again, that level of detail is just incredible. The terraforming for the ground, making it come up and down, again, amazing. You've got such a level of control over that as well. You can create whatever you want, and it's just amazing. Sometimes you kind of go, wasn't I kind of building a park here? And you forget to put a ride in, and you're just like, yes, maybe I should start doing right. I've up to episode 6 now on this, so about 40 minutes each, plus about 20 minutes prep time in between, and I still haven't opened my park. Still haven't at all. And that just shows. You can move things up and down in the ground. You can have things up in the sky, down on on the ground. You can put things underground. You can put things overground. You can build all the way up. You can build all the way down. It's just crazy. And you know the one thing that holds it back? It's a theme park type game. There's just not that many rides. I want to see more themed rides as well. Like, there's not many rides that fit into, say, the theme of being in a castle. or anything like that, and that is a little bit of a shame. So my park, I don't know if I'll ever get finished, but it's going to have 4 different zones, and there's transport systems, and everything that is just, there's so much. There's a workshop as well, so you can download what other people have made as well, and it's so easy to do. This game is just, it's just incredible. Just, if you got a PC, and you're like, oh, I don't really haven't got, like theme park games, normally a bit restrictive, just get this. You'll love it. Absolutely love it. It's well deserving in any list of this year's top games. Number 3, Uncharted 4. Yes. Now this is a good game. I enjoyed this game a lot when I played it. I don't think I put it down. Like, once I put it in the machine, it was just in my PlayStation, and I was playing and playing and playing. It looks incredible. The graphics are just brilliant. The sound effects good. The story's good as well. As you'd expect from a Uncharted game, like all the Uncharted games are really good. The climbing is really good, and like the way it jumps up things and it works is just really good. It is just a cracking game. It's as you'd expect. If you've never played an Uncharted game before, well, I was going to say it's kind of like a Tomb Raider game. If you haven't played a Tomb Raider game, then, I don't know how I can help you. It also has really fun multiplayer as well, and that's unusual for this type of game. I was like, I don't know, maybe the multiplayer is not going to work. Last one I played, Uncharted 3, I never tried the multiplayer. This, I was just like, I even persuaded a few friends to get it as well for the multiplayer. I was just like, just get on there. And the multiplayer is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. The cutscenes look amazing as well. Like, yeah, they're just really well done. Lighting's really good. And, like, you really almost bond with the characters you go through, and, you really want them to do quite well, Nathan Drake. And you really care for what he does. There's certain things that do hold the game back, and why it stops it being a great game, in my opinion. It's a very good game, but it's not great. Is things like, I feel like a lot of the stages are just climbing around things. It's like a filler. Like, it's like, right, shoot some people, right, climb for 10 hours. Okay, I'll climb for 10 hours. Okay, you got the next bit, shoot some people. Right, I've shot some people. Right, well, now you got to climb 10 hours back. And it's like, oh, good God. And like things will fall off, and you'll have to fall all pre-scripted. The cutscenes are pre-scripted. The QuickTime events are pre-scripted. Things happen for a reason. If you can see, what's gonna happen. There's nothing you can do to stop it. However, there's some really good set pieces saying that because of that. So I suppose it can be a negative or good thing. But overall, probably one of the best games I played on the PlayStation 4 this year. I don't really turn my PlayStation on too much. This game made me not turn off my PlayStation for a long time, so kudos for that. Number 2, Doom. Doom. Wow, what to say about this game? You know what? You can't even sum this game up. It's just really difficult. This, when I first put this on, I was like, I played the beta and I was like, oh, didn't really enjoy that. And then I started reading some of the reviews and I was like, oh, go on, I'll pick it up. And for the first couple of hours, it's just an absolute blast. It's so much fun. Like, the guns are cracking. The way you, like, stun an enemy and then do a button press on them, and then it just rips off the ROM and hits them in the face, or he kicks them, or he chainsaws them, or he bashes them, or whatever. It's such a fast-paced game. It's made for you to go as fast as humanly possible while killing things. If you stand still, you're dead. Well, you're not dead, but like, you're in a lot of trouble. You're like, how do I do that? There's a bit at the beginning where, like, most games, like, give you a massive long intro, and they'll go, right, here's a tutorial. Well, did you know if you press fire, you can do this? This game's like, right, you're on a table. Why am I on a table? I don't know. Right, there's some aliens around you. And here's a gun. Shoot him in the face. And that is it. That is how you start that game. It is gruesome. It is over the top. It actually has an alright story running through it as well. Basically, you just absolutely hate demons, and you will make sure the world is rid of them. There's nothing else to it. That character just hates demons, and he wants to kill them all, and he kills them in the best way possible for him, which is you just shoot them in the face. The reason it's not getting my game of the year, and this was a point I was talking to someone about the other day, it got old quickly for me. I loved the first couple of hours. First couple of hours, I was like, wow, this is brilliant, this is brilliant. I was like, right now I'm ready for it to end. So I read a review that said it's around about 7 or 8 hours long to complete a single player. And I was like, oh, I must be near the end now. I checked my game time. I was on 4 hours, and I was like, you know what? I cannot be bothered to finish the last 3 hours. I'm starting to get bored of it now. And that's what held it back. I just wish... I know. It's that sort of game. It's about shooting things in the face with a shotgun. Yes, I know that. But it just didn't do anything new. There was nothing different. There was nothing that held my interest after the first couple of hours. Yes, it's a lot of fun. Snapping the arm off an enemy and hit them in the face with it until they die. A lot of fun. For the first 50 times... The next 50 times, it's just not as fun. And that's what held it back from being number one this year. I just wish there'd been something a little bit different. Something else to go with it. However, overall, a cracking game. And very solid. Very well put together. And it just kind of came out of nowhere. It was just like, hey, here's Doom. Go and enjoy it. And yeah, everything's good about it. Just wish I had a little bit more. It could have been a great game. Here we have it, number one. I said at the top of the video that it hadn't been a vintage year for gaming, so this wasn't an easy choice, and that's why it's just at a top 5. So let's see what was my game of the year 2016. Forza Horizon 3. Now, I don't think many people would pick this game is their number one game of 2016. For me, I don't want to turn off. This isn't a time to turn off. This is a time to listen. This game is absolutely amazingly beautiful. There's been times on this game where I've had to stop and look at something. There's been times where I've just sat and looked at my car and went, what? That is incredible. The way you progress is really, really handled very, very well. You never feel like you're stalling. You're always moving forward, and it's not that difficult. Well, it's not easy, but it's not difficult to progress that little bit. You know, you might have to do an event, you might have to buy a new car, but you can always do it. It's never out of your reach. The amount of cars in the game is crazy as well. There are so many of them. Yes, this is on my Windows PC, so I do, it's very graphically intensive. Jesus Christ, if you don't have a good PC, I just wouldn't bother. My PC's an top of the range i5. I didn't go for i7 for some reason. I can't remember at the time. With a GTX 7, I want to say 970 GTX, that's it. And I have to run it on around about medium to high settings, and I cap it at 30 frames per second. Anything above that, it gets a little bit jumpy. So if you're watching this and you only got a PC and you're wondering, will it run it? Mine's a 970 with an i5 and 24 gig of RAM, and it runs it well enough. As you can see from the footage, it runs it pretty well. If I'm not recording, I get a lot higher frame rate. Obviously, the recording software I uses Shadowplay, so it uses my graphical settings, which obviously when you're wanting a game that's very graphically intensive, using some of your graphics to play a game isn't the best idea. Now, Forza Motorsport 1 was just my favourite racing game of all time. I love that game. It's one of the only racing games I've completed. Racing games tend to get really boring quickly for me. Like, I'll put quite a few hours in and then just get bored. I completed Forza Horizon 1, really liked it. The idea of having the Horizon Festival that you built up and was essential to the story was just great. I was gutted when Forza Horizon 2 came out and I couldn't play it. I was like, oh no, this is rubbish. I then bought an Xbox One with Forza 6, I think it was, and it just wasn't the same. So when this came out for the PC, I just had to have it, and it just reaches a really nice balance of progression and way it plays. Difficulty's pretty balanced very well. And you race against your friends as well. Like, they have these things called driver tours that learn how they drive and then transfer into your game. So if they're aggressive, they'll be aggressive towards you. There's auction houses where you can buy things. You can put decals on your car. You can install different parts. I got an aerial atom thing to go off-road on, and I couldn't control it. I can't use it. It's fast. It's like, it's ridiculous. As you can see, I just drive down that bit there. Look how beautiful that is. This is a game. I mean, look at it. Just absolutely incredible. Everything about it's great. The only slight criticism I would have maybe about it, and it's a very, very slight one. I see my car flying through the air back over there, is the checkpoint system can be a little bit annoying, and sometimes there's not that much variety in it, and it's just like, hey, well, yeah, we're doing another checkpoint race. Ooh. You know, that can sometimes you're a bit like, oh, I don't want to play. But if you've got a spare 20, 30, 40 minutes, it's the sort of game I load up and play. It's like my go-to game. And it's just, I love it. I'll be back. The new DLCs just came out, which brings snow into it and special snow tires and that. And that looks a lot of fun as well. So I will be picking that up. So yeah, easily my game of the year. When I was thinking about it, it was kind of between Doom and this. And I was like, Doom, yeah, I didn't enjoy Doom as much as this by a long shot. And I will never go back to Doom. This I will keep going back to. And I do keep going back to. So, yes, that is Forza Horizon 3. And that's it. That's my Gaming Awards 2016. I hope you enjoyed. If you agree, disagree, leave a comment below. Catch me on Twitter at 15MinuteGamer and let's get some conversation going. Tell me what games you enjoyed. I'm hoping 2017 is a little bit better and I hope there's a lot more games. I'm really excited for Horizon Zero Dawn and Tom Clancy's Wildlands. Please be good. Please don't ruin it. Please don't ruin it. I want it to be good. And I will catch you all later and have a wonderful Christmas and New Year.